Well, good morning. Oh, I've been sort of having like a laughing meditation here this morning. Uh, I'll be honest with you, before I even went to the meditation room today, I checked to see the contest with my son's band Elephant Gun and where it was. They had over a 1,200 point lead when I went to bed after midnight last night. And of course, as expected, the Zebedee Rays are working on closing that lead, so the voting needs to continue throughout the day. Anyway, last night I had Christopher Timms here, and the title of his talk was Paradigm Conspiracy. And while I'm going to be focusing today on the contest with my son's band, until the voting ends. And what time is it now? It's okay, so it ends in about 12 and a half hours. The contest will have ended. So I'm focusing on that, but I want to share some of my thoughts about how the universe is conspiring for our good. if I can keep my mind focused enough. But I'll tell you, it feels good to be able to focus on something light. It's a good-natured contest between the Zebedee Rays and Elephant Gun. At least I hope it's good-natured. I've even had people from the UK vote for Elephant Gun because they're my friends. Last night I actually sent out an invitation to vote to all the friends in my book, which was 1,448 friends. That's the first time I've ever invited everyone to an event. Of course, it's just a vote, and everybody can do it from wherever they are in about 5 seconds. In any case, paradigm conspiracy. Let's get focused, Ron. Let's get focused on your talk for today, and not bore people with the contest that really doesn't mean a whole lot in the final analysis of anything. Let me begin by sharing something my friend Salvador Russo came across my inbox today. Salvador Russo has a Facebook page called Starseed Astrology, and I'm just going to read the opening paragraph to his introduction to today, which is the 30th of June. I'm going to read it. Waves of divine justice will soon come crashing into our homes as the upcoming solar eclipse in Cancer unfolds. The eclipse window begins tomorrow, the 30th of June, that's today, and closes late on the 2nd of July. During this time, cosmic energy will cascade through our families, living spaces, and hearts to reveal what truly lies within these sacred spaces. Are we living in shallow sandcastles or impenetrable palaces of virtue? And I'm reading that because it goes along with how I see this paradigm conspiracy. Let me define it first so you know what I'm talking about. A paradigm, of course, is an accepted point of view that basically drives a culture, drives a person, it drives the world. We're all driven by our personal paradigms and collectively by our collective paradigms. And the collective paradigms may change in various parts of the world. Not everyone operates under the exact same paradigm. But there is a conspiracy with paradigms that's going on, and I called it last night in the discussion a cosmic conspiracy. Because the cosmos, the universe, has conspired to bring us good. It has conspired to make the way for us to get out of the morass of our quicksand that we've been in, sinking us deeper and deeper into the paradigm of the past and pulling us forward into the paradigm of the future. What is the paradigm of the past? If I had to put a label on it, I'd say it's separation consciousness. The paradigm of the past sees us all as, or sees each of us as separate from one another. Each of us is going in our own direction, doing our own thing, and for a long time we humans have been unable to determine how much we are connected each to the other. We may have had an inkling of that, and we've never totally been able to erase it perhaps, but we've lived as if it's not true. The paradigm has been separation consciousness. Well, there's a new paradigm that's imploding from within our very hearts, and it's the divine cosmos writing something that's eternal in our hearts. It's not doing it right now because it's always been written there, but it's awakening that. The flame of freedom that's burning is being awakened within us. And the new paradigm, of course, is the paradigm of unity consciousness. And unity consciousness is shifting everything on our planet. I want you to get that, because it's so important that you understand, as you look at what's going on in the world, that what's happening is the collapse of the old paradigm, the paradigm of separation, the paradigm of each for his own, looking out for number one first and letting the rest take care of themselves. That paradigm is crashing, folks. It's unsustainable. It's been unsustainable all along, but it's had a long life, and a lot has happened during that time. We've co-created together through our unconscious the world that we live in. And the unconscious, of course, has been operating under the paradigm of, we're all individuals and we're all going to do our own thing. And doing our own thing is a good thing, except when you forget that when you do something in your own thing that hurts somebody else, it comes back and bites you, because that paradigm is becoming conscious now. The consciousness that what I do in my world affects what others do in their world, and vice versa. We're all connected to this web of life. And when seen from the higher perspective, we see that the cosmos is indeed conspiring for us in this ninth wave, as the underworlds come to the surface, so that we can take a look at them with a greater consciousness than we were able to do before. Consciousness has always existed. It's not something new that's all of a sudden coming into bear. It's just that we're becoming aware of our consciousness. And our consciousness includes the subconscious, the superconsciousness, and the consciousness. The consciousness is the ego state of mind, what we're aware of right now in this present moment, in this present time and space. What are we aware of? We're aware that we have a body. We're aware that we have circumstances surrounding us. We're aware that things are happening in our world. We're aware of a lot that's going on. From the subconscious, that's what we're not yet aware of. But those things are coming to the surface so that we can become aware of them. That's what's happening in the opening of the underworlds. That's what's happening in this ninth wave. All of that unconscious and subconscious material is coming to the surface so that we can look at it with fresh eyes. And our superconsciousness, the eternal me, the eternal Ron, the eternal you, whatever your name is, the eternal you is also impinging upon your consciousness in the present moment. So that you're becoming more and more aware, many of us are becoming more and more aware of our infinity. That we were never born, therefore we can never die. That life is eternal. That it's a ride, a journey that we are going on. And our soul has embarked upon this journey, taking on different spacesuits, bodies, taking on different identities, our name, taking on different sets of circumstances, our ego, personality, and the world that we have created for ourselves. We're recognizing that all of this is connected to a bigger picture. And this is the paradigm conspiracy, the conspiracy for good. We all talk, when we hear the word conspiracy, we think of the elite conspiring against us to rule the world. Well, God uses that conspiracy, and it exists. The elite want to rule the world and have wanted to do so for a long time, but the elite too are being affected by the paradigm conspiracy for good. And many elite have no choice but to wake up. I mean, not really, because God always gives us a choice. But it almost is as if there's no choice, because the fear that they've been trying to feed the rest of us is now their main diet, as they become apprehensive with what they see going on in the world. They're becoming more and more apprehensive. And that's why the Bilderbergers meeting, for example, in Switzerland earlier in the month collapsed and was unable to be completed for the first time since the early 50s when it began. All of these things are happening to show us that something different is happening. We're entering a new paradigm. We're entering a paradigm where people are not going to get away with the unsustainable me versus them attitude, and me versus them, Elephant Gun versus the Zebedee Rays. Okay, I come back there. It's a contest. It's a fun-loving contest. Does it really matter who wins? Well, I want to see my son's band win. Of course I do. He's my son. He's had this dream of making it for a long time, and I told them last year when I realized that their birthdays were 11 days apart, and I started today's video at 5:33, which is an 11. 11, 11. 11 is new beginnings. It's a master new beginning. And that's what we're in. This new paradigm is a new beginning for us. But Elephant Gun is an 11-11 band. And I told them 2011 is going to be your year. You guys are going to make it this year. Because David Pastorius, the bass, he was born on February the 3rd. My son was born on February the 14th. And Trevor was born on February the 25th, 11 days apart, 11-11. That's why I call them an 11-11 band. Does it matter if they win? Well, I want to see them win, folks. I do. But it's just a contest. It's a game. And it's okay to play games. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you're playing games and getting excited about games. You may as well enjoy life, because you're on for the duration. You're in for the duration. And the duration doesn't even end when we die, because we don't really die. We just change spacesuits. We just change IDs. So when we get that in our minds, when we get that picture, we can have fun with with what we're given in life. Instead of making it from a victim's attitude, we can say, "Hey, this has been created for me." Just like the situation with the bankers trying to take my house. It's a situation created for me. I'm not alone in this thing. This is happening all over the world to people as we wake up and understand the nature of the game so we can play with it. I take myself far too seriously most of the time, so it's good that I can have a laughing meditation this morning. Laughing because I'm sidetracked by something that seems so trivial as a contest between two bands, one from the United States and one from the United Kingdom. It's going to be fun. The Zebedee Rays are going to be voting numerous times, and they even posted on their website. My son told me last night they're even posting on their website that you can do these things called proxy servers where you can get to vote more than once in 24 hours, and they're doing it. So I guess Elephant Gun's going to do it now too. I don't know. You know, to each their own. You're supposed to only be able to vote once every 24 hours, but if you can find a way to skirt the rule. I mean, AMPEG's, when it was brought to AMPEG's attention that the Zebedee Rays were voting, were even announcing publicly on Facebook, I guess, I assume that's what my son was talking about, that they were voting more than once in the same day, and voting, I guess, numerous times. I don't know what the limitations are exactly. My son says he thinks you can vote about 20 times by using those things. I don't know. Play with it. The AMPEG's thing was have fun with it. So today there's going to be a lot of voting going on, and it's a game. It's a contest. Does it mean anything? In the final analysis, no. But what does mean something, as Salvador Russo said, is right now the eclipse window is crashing down upon us to reveal whether we're living in sandcastles or impenetrable palaces of virtue. I like that. And the impenetrable palace of virtue is to love. If we have love in our hearts, we can play with the circumstances that are happening in our lives and learn to see them in a lighter vein. And that's what I hope I'm conveying to you this morning in this crazy message called Paradigm Conspiracy. The universe is on our side, folks. We win. And we create win-win situations for everybody. In the contest, I'd like to see both bands go to Nashville. I really would. Is that going to happen? Probably not. The one with the most votes at the end of the voting is going to go to Nashville. It's either going to be the Zebedee Rays or Elephant Gun. I hope it's the latter. I'm biased. Okay? Have fun, folks. Have fun. I love you, and thank you for listening to my ranting and raving and my bantering with you. Namaste.